Okay. So it's not a great picture of me. My hair's a mess. So I have family Thanksgiving tomorrow. What is that all about? Well, my cousin, who is in her mid 50s, 54, 55, she's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Now, people have died in my family since I would say my well, you say you start with grandparents, great grandparents, grandparents. Okay, grandparents and great grandparents, you expect them to die. Okay, I'm almost 41 years old. I have lost all my grandparents. Okay, no great grandparents, definitely, and no grandparents. I lost my two brothers. My one brother died of a blood hemorrhage at 3 months old. My other brother died at 11 years old. I was 9. I remember the horrible scene. He had AIDS virus. He had pneumonia. Maybe my parents were careless in trying to find to cure him quickly enough. Maybe they weren't. But definitely, the fault wasn't the fault of the pharmaceutical companies who did not treat my brother right. So he died early. He died young. My cousin Gabriel died at the age of 18. A few months after he graduated, he died of AIDS. Then my pop died at the age of 58 of pancreatic cancer. Then my sister died supposedly of suicide, though my brother-in-law, who's not my brother-in-law anymore, could have helped her commit suicide. Then some other relatives died. Then my uncle died. So I've lost half of my family, plus two other people in my extended family. So half of my nuclear family is gone, and my two people, my uncle and my cousin, are gone. And yet here the rest of us are. Okay. Now I don't know. My cousin. I have not spoken to her in a while. Okay. This is my extended family. This is my mom's sister's family. My dad's brother, I never met him. I never met the man. Would I meet him? I would be open to meeting him, but if he died, he died. Okay, but if he's not dead, I would be open to meeting him, even just to see what his peace of mind was. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I have to go over to my aunt's house to go see this family, to go see my cousin, her daughter. Her daughter. I don't know when I first met my female cousin. I believe it was when I was a baby, because obviously if she was born in the 60s, I was born in the late 70s. So, she might have been 13 years old, 14 years old when she met me. And I saw her on and off throughout my life. My nuclear family and my extended are not very close at all. Mostly because my uncle was a wife beater. And my aunt's first husband was a wife beater as well. She was 14 when she married her first husband, and he would smack her head against the wall, abuse her. That's why when you see the story of Grim Planet on my channel, it is based on my family members, the abuse, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse. Okay, that's why I say also too in one of my MGTOW videos, a family can rape your soul where a man can rape your body, telling you don't matter. Um, I went through physical abuse to my pop. My pop did not sexually abuse me, but he physically abused me, and he definitely verbally abused me. He was not afraid to use the back of his hand, his fists, a razor strap, a belt, a shoe, just to put me in my place. He even did that to me after I was 18. Okay, I suffered a lot of physical abuse. I was afraid to die in that house growing up. That's where a lot of my negativity comes from, in case you're wondering. So I'm just an angry person. I don't have any more tears left. My mother sat back for most of my childhood and let my dad do whatever the hell he wanted to do until, this is conjecture, she threatened to divorce him when he took the last drink of alcohol. Because he got drunk one night and at my sister's graduation, my second sister Marlowe, who is dead now. Uh, and he was going to drive us home drunk. And my mom took the keys and she was crying. And my dad was saying, fuck, motherfucker, fuck this shit. And I'm going to tell you, can I tell you, at 9 years old, I thought I was going to fucking die that night. I thought I was going to die that night in that car going home at 9 years old. My brother had just passed away, or maybe my brother was in the hospital still sick and dying. I don't know exactly when. I think it was June. If it was graduation ceremony, it had to have been June. My memory's fucking hazy. But I mean, I have to talk about family members to get to my cousin as to why I'm going there tomorrow. I'm going there for the humanity of it. I'm going there for the morality of it. Not about based on religion, but because if my cousin is at stage 4 cancer, there's a fair chance she's deathly ill. And maybe she's not even coherent. Maybe she can't even recognize people, or maybe she's not, maybe she's invalid. I don't know where she is mentally or physically. Obviously, she's not in top spiritual form. But as far as like where her body is, mind is, I don't know. She may, obviously I don't expect her to have her hair, but where is she mentally? I don't know. So I went through abuse in my family. There was abuse in my cousin's family. There was abuse everywhere. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm distracted here. So there was a physical abuse, razor straps, the back of people's hands. My uncle hit my aunt. My aunt still put up with it until my uncle died 2 years ago of a heart attack. When my dad died, I didn't shed a tear. I didn't. I'm not ungrateful for the money and the financial responsibilities my parents put upon us, but that's about it. When you're financially paying for your kids, you're only doing half the job. And I don't need to have kids to know that. I'm not an expert on how to raise children. I'm only an expert in how not to raise children. And this goes back to MGTOW and true force loneliness. Because chances are, if you're a MGTOW, you're most likely a pariah. You're a Negro slave. You're the Jew with the numbers on his wrists. Analogy. You're the person that's garbage to everyone else. Meanwhile, everyone else is pulling their own bullshit. So I suffered abuse. My extended family suffered abuse, but there's always this denial that there was just a bad history, and everybody tries to pretend like we give a shit. Okay. Now this is not unique. I'm sure everybody's gone through this. Tomorrow I have to go over there. I've been thinking about this a lot as the days roll on. My mom imposed this upon me. No, actually, she told me about my cousin's cancer in July. And then somewhere in September, late September, my mom imposed upon me to go over there for Thanksgiving to see her. I thought about it for about 30 seconds, and I said, okay, I can do that. But I said that I'm going to stay for about an hour, 2 hours maximum. Maybe I'll get to talk to her privately. Maybe I won't. If I don't get to talk to my cousin privately, if my family's not going to let me talk to her in private, I'll say, good luck, thank you, and I'm going to excuse myself and go home on my own because I don't drive. I don't want anybody threatening me or forcing me out or forcing to take me home or forcing me to stay there longer than I need to. Okay. I'm going in and out. I don't like this family very much. What's the story? What else can I tell you about my extended family? My cousin Gabriel and his brother were both in gangs. I don't know what kind of gang my cousin Gabriel is, but I know my other cousin was in a street gang, stealing car radios in the 1980s, stealing car parts, going to jail so many times. I don't know if he ever killed anyone, but he sure as hell beat the shit out of people. That's for sure. But that was a hard life, and now he's a truck driver. His kids are all grown up, and in fact, his daughter has a kid of her own. His daughter, I think, is in her 30s now, and I think his son is in his late 20s, early 30s. Everybody's grown up, old. I've grown old. So that's it. That's where I'm at right now. I am not employed. This is what I do. Working a dead-end job where I'm going to be wetback eyes. You see, I'm using the right, ethnic slurring because I'm Latino, I'm Mexican, I'm Chicano. In case you can't tell that. wetback-eyed by my bosses and underappreciated, and somebody else gets the job before I do. That's hard. That is really hard. So going to this Thanksgiving dinner is going to be fucked up because, as Tom Likas said in some of his videos, well, if you look on YouTube, Tom Likas and Thanksgiving, you'll see Tom Likas talk about how predictable it is to see Aunt Ruth or Aunt Tina, the grandma who can't get up out of bed. Someone's got a drug addiction. But for me, what will likely happen is everybody's going to talk loud. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, so what you been up to? Oh, do you have that, you got that YouTube channel? Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just doing this. Oh, you do YouTube channels? This is my cousin Lolo. I'm doing an impression of my cousin Lolo, who's a complete pussy. My cousin Lolo is the opposite of MGTOW. He believes respect women, okay? This is a man who got divorced. I think he got remarried. I don't know that for sure. Oh, so what you been up to? I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen, by the way, what's making me nervous right now is I haven't seen these people in 13 years. We've had family get-togethers at Mexican restaurants, but basically it's my sister, who's now 53, my mom, who's in her mid to late 70s, and my aunt, who's in her early 70s, okay? But I have not seen the rest of these people. I have not seen my female cousins or male cousins in 13 years, okay? I was 27. Is that right? 13? Was I 27? Yeah. I'm thinking I'm 41 right now. I'm 40 right now. So everybody talks loud. They kind of, you know that leaning over thing where you're sitting at the table, okay? And everybody kind of leaves, oh, so how you been? Like loud talk, okay? Especially people you have not seen in a long time. So what you been up to? Like, oh, fuck. So mostly what I'm going to just do is kind of keep short word sentences. If you've seen my MGTOW video for French Connection and Thanksgiving, that was my real Thanksgiving. And my fake Thanksgiving is the one coming up tomorrow. So yeah, it's not going to be good. It's going to be tensions, okay? But why am I going to see my cousin if I never really saw her, if she's got cancer? Am I feeling sorry for her? Yes. I don't believe all MGTOW are inhuman assholes, okay? We just don't respect women first and foremost all the time. Some people in my family do. Well, actually, mostly everybody does. There's no male presence. If there's a male presence in my family, it's men who are wife beaters or angry people or people who are passive aggressive and they don't care and they don't want to care. So that's the story to that. But I'm there because, yeah, I guess it's the humanity, it's the humane thing to do. And what else am I going to do? Because, again, I have to pay for some of the money to stay here. My mom pays most of the rent for me to stay here. I know that's stupid and it's pathetic. But again, if my family had treated me right, if my father and I played catch more, if we hugged, okay? Sometimes, you know, if you're a dad, the one person who's watching, if you're a dad, if you've got kids, okay, hug your kids every once in a while, please. You know, especially if there's a misunderstanding, your kids will forgive you later on. They will not push you down the stairs when you're 70 years old. Oh, could you give me a hand? Boom. Bye. Nice knowing you. You know, hug your kids, please. Hug your nieces and nephews. They may thank you later. They may want to come to your, you know, over-the-top presentations for whatever you like to do, you know. But there is no connection in this family. It is very passive-aggressive. It's just like when you talk shit about your coworkers when you get home from work, okay? My oldest sister, who's going to be there tomorrow, used to talk shit about all her coworkers from which I will not name, a movie production company. And she was an accountant. But she would talk shit about her coworkers. Well, it's the same thing with family members. You have to talk shit about these people behind their backs. I'm going to spoil the end of the book. No one likes each other. No one cares about each other. And that is directly connected to MGTOW, because I have to believe there are people who just get along with people So most of the time, they're just ideal people that they have this cute little Andy Griffith, Barney Fife, Mayberry life where everything's cute. You have the girl next door. That's not ideal. That's ideal. It's not everybody. In fact, most people it doesn't happen to. But there are those people who are given hugs, who are given kisses, who are not treated as equals, but their parents are their teachers and they want to teach them stuff and they go play catch and they go to the ballet, they go do stuff together and there's no animosity. That's a nice situation, isn't it? It's so anti-MGTOW, you almost want to be part of that. Except it's like a dirty window to the rest of us. Those who have been beaten, those who have been abused. You know, I would hear comics like Bernie Mac, and I love Bernie Mac. God rest his soul, great comedian. Uh, Steve, what's his name? Steve Harvey, good comedian, right? And black comedians would say, you know, the kids are not your friends. That's true, but the kids are not your enemies either. You do not want to be the god on Mount Olympus staring down on your children and just like flicking them off like a slave master or Adolf Hitler. Because your kids are going to come back at you badly. They're not going to like you. They're not going to want to be around you. Okay? So that's how it is. And it scares me. It just scares me the way people are. My oldest sister and my mom are the two people in my nuclear family who are going to be there. My other sister's not going. I don't blame her for not going. That's all there is left of my family. There's only 4 of us. I'm going for the humanity of it, but I don't give a shit about anything else, honestly. My oldest sister, I feel, who's 53 now, I feel like she needs validation for her existence. To be fair, I'm the same way. But I know what it means to go the wrong path in trying to validate your existence. She puts my mom, our mom, on a pedestal of infallibility. You know, no one's going to question that our mom worked hard to take care of us and put food on the table. Even if my dad put most of the food on the table and paid all the bills off until he died and the taxes. She just, you know, was a homemaker. She did work at McDonald's when I was a child. Then she worked at Cal State LA. She would work at the places that we used to be in, schools we used to be in. Okay. Then she worked at my school as a teacher's assistant. She just got the job because I was going there and she knew people and I knew people, whatever. And then she finally retired when did she retire? 2007, 2008, somewhere there, about over 10 years ago. So it was tough. So, I mean, but again, my sister and I had a pissing match one time over stupid shit. Over about whether or not I locked the gate properly, or about the dog getting out. Stupid ass shit that's worth this. That was what we were fighting about. This symbol meaning less than 0. Nothing. Dick. Okay? But it wasn't the fight that mattered. It was the principle of her attitude we couldn't talk back to our mom, but she could talk back to her. I'm sorry. I'm not your nigger slave. I'm not your son. I am your brother. And at some point, I'm going to have to be motherfucking right at some point. Okay? So we have not spoken to each other in years. We had one argument about something after my dad died. I forgave her. Then we had another argument, which was the one in 2004 about the dog and the gate and all this stupid shit. And we had a couple of Thanksgivings at my aunt's house. Then I gave a present for Roxanne, her daughter. And that's about it. And I just, like, there was nothing after that. Like, really, there was nothing after that. So I'm angry at my mom, who's going to be there, not only because she didn't really step up to defend me when my pop was beating the crap out of me some days, but because she would turn us against each other, us siblings. There was sibling abuse. There was sibling abuse. There was parental abuse, child abuse. There was just abuse all around. If it wasn't physical, it was threats. My cousin Gabriel threatened to hit me some days, even if he didn't say it all the time. Most of the time, he would just be like trying to get in my face like this. And I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to do? So there's a lot of animosity. But then it's like you try to get, what you try to do is like, it's like you're getting, how do I put this analogy? It's like if you're trying to cover a hole in a wall, right? If, like, let's say the wall behind me here, okay, you got a hole, a gaping hole, and you get oatmeal or you get cream of wheat, and you paste it over the hole in the wall. Well, it covers up the hole, but at some point that cream of wheat is so brittle it's going to crumble and fall down. And if it leaks, and if rain leaks to the ceiling, then it'll soften the cream of wheat, and then the hole's back, right? So it's like my family tries to patch up a serious problem with fake shit. Okay. If somebody's in debt, you don't give them monopoly money. You give them real money, or you put in your time. So because of all these stories I'm telling you, because of all the animosity between my pop and me, my mom and me, my sisters, my other sister who wanted my mom to live near her, and she couldn't get, she has, how do I put this? She has this passive aggressive animosity. She would ask you questions. So, what about this and this that you're doing? What about this and that? So let's say she asks you a question. She's not asking you a question to ask you. She's asking you a question to interrogate you. It's like a cop saying, "Oh, so what you doing there? Oh, like flash, like let's say the cop is flashing the flashlight at you. Oh, so what you're doing there? Oh, you wouldn't happen to be breaking the law, would you? Nah, you wouldn't do that. So what you doing out here? Oh, okay. So are you just walking around? I notice this is a different area, isn't it? You know. So my sister would be like that. My youngest sister, who is now, let me think. She was born in 1971, so she would be 47. And my other sister, who died, who supposedly committed suicide, was 49. Actually, she would be 49 now, but she died in January 2011. She was just over 40 years old. I'm the same age she would be if she had taken her life. I'm still going to be here. I'm not going to take my own life. At least not if I stay away from my family, okay? Because your family could drive you to suicide. So, what is the point of all this? I've been telling you these stories. Unless somebody's dying, unless you're dying, unless there's some big reason that of great importance, unless the sun turns red and grows and engulfs the solar system, okay? Unless something of chaotic importance happens, there is no reason to see your family on Thanksgiving. If you have to, you don't have to do what Tom Likas roasts you about and get a turkey sandwich from Subway. Go to KFC, go to Pioneer Chicken or some sort of fried chicken place, okay? You get some fried chicken, you get some French fries or mashed potatoes, you get some coleslaw, baked beans, or macaroni and cheese, or, what's another one? Rice, brown rice, go to El Pollo Loco, you get some cornbread, and then you come back home, you set up your flat screen TV or Nintendo Switch or your phone. I would say Nintendo Switch at least, okay? You got YouTube on Nintendo Switch. Give me a like if you're watching this on Nintendo Switch for some reason, some strange reason, because I have it now. But you watch your favorite movies and you sit there by yourself, or even better yet, you get a buddy who's got his own orphan's Thanksgiving and you have him come over to the house, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be like that Sanford and Son episode, Here Comes the Bride, There Goes the Bride. Do you watch that episode? It's the funniest one. That's the one where Lamont tries to get married, doesn't work out, and everybody wants their fucking gifts back. All the family comes in, and they're bothering. You got Red Fox, you got Lamont Wilson, or oh no, not Lamont Wilson. Desmond Wilson or Demond Wilson, and he's playing Lamont. So you got Fred and his son Lamont, and then you got all the family members coming over. Everybody's taking their damn gifts back, okay? And you got Aunt Ethel or Aunt Esther, who's the realistic version, before LaWanda Page. And everybody starts arguing. There's just bitterness. That's what this is going to be, okay? Nobody's going to like one another. Everybody's going to be bitter against each other. And That's it. It's just run of the mill. Now, before I close out, what would I say if I did have a moment with my cousin, who's now in her mid 50s, and is she may die. She may die by Christmas. Okay, I would tell her some of the things that I'm telling you. I don't know how much I would tell her, because again, I don't want my family members coming down to my address and berating me and all this nonsense. I as MGTOW as I am, I just can't handle all kinds of bullshit. I just can't. But if I saw these people, I mean, if I saw her by myself with her, I would tell her, look, I'm going to do what I want to do, just like everybody else in this family does what they want to do. Also, too, my cousin fucked up. Now, my cousin was in a religion for most of her 40s, okay, and 50s. My cousin Gabriel died, and then my uncle died, and then my aunt. She used to say, "Oh, hello, it's your aunt, it's me." Like she used to talk to me normal when my cousin was alive, and after she lost her son from AIDS, then she said, "Hello, it's your auntie, it's me." Like, why are you talking to me this way? Why are you talking to me this way? And then she would say later on, she would say, "Oh, this is so and so, your mother's sister." And I'm like, okay, I don't need that. Okay. So I think it was because my cousin who's dying is had put her on a religion. Okay. Now this is where some MGTOW, there's a MGTOW person who is Christian. Some of you may be religious. Some of you may not be. I am definitely not religious. I will say agnostic, but I'm not atheist necessarily. But if God was good, okay, this is what my mom said when my brother died of AIDS, okay, and I was 9 years old. I was in the car in the back seat. My mom was crying. She was really crying. And I think my sister, my oldest sister who's going to be there, who puts my mom on a pedestal, okay? My mom's not infallible, okay? She fucks up just like everybody does. Just like the person watching right now, just like the people who've been watching this video right now. Everybody fucks up, okay? Even parents. But it's trying to be infallible, but you're never going to really get there. And if you keep pitting your kids against each other, even at our age, that's sad, okay? But anyway, my mom is sitting in the so imagine you're here, my mom is in the passenger seat, my sister's driving us home. She cries and she says, "If God was good, why did he take my son away?" Now my son, who was Sebastian, was born with blindness, and he had mild autism. He didn't always know right from wrong. He was a bit slow to learn, but he was sharp at times. But he just couldn't see you. He didn't know what you looked like. He'd have to touch you to know. And that was hard. Dying at 11 years old, he didn't get to go through puberty. He didn't get to go through girls. He didn't get to masturbate. He didn't get to listen to porn. He didn't get to try out video games, even if he couldn't see the video game characters on the screen. He didn't get to live life as an adult. And that's hard. And even though my cousin Gabriel had AIDS, but he threw his medication in the toilet. He flushed all his medication away. He said, "Fuck this. I don't need this shit. I'm too cool for this shit. Faggots, take this shit. I don't want to be dependent on medication and medicine. Fuck this shit." And then he was dying. His body slowly rotted away because he wouldn't get his treatment for AIDS, and he died. My mom came to see him every day until he died. So if my cousin, who's now dying of cancer, prescribes to a religion, right? If you're supposed to join a religion, right? That means that if you don't commit the sins as warned by your religion, that means everything's supposed to happen to you, right? If you listen to Ask the Atheist number 14 and you hear those funny stories, well, wait until after this is done to listen to those. But if you listen to Ask the Atheist number 14, you hear these funny stories. So my brother dies at 11 years old. He's blind. He was autistic, of AIDS and pneumonia. And then my cousin Gabriel dies at 18 years old. My aunt lets those two sons of hers join gangs, and her husband beat the crap out of her until he died of a heart attack 2 years ago. My cousin, who is sick right now, she's had 2 divorces, 2 marriages, 2 divorces, okay? And she's only had a child with one. And her son is now 16 years old. And I hope, of all the people that need to be there at that Thanksgiving dinner, he needs to be there. Even if he's now staying with his dad in Connecticut, what a state that is, he needs to be there. Why, if you're going to be religious, why does God allow these things to happen? If you're going to church and you're saying your Hail Marys, or you're singing your hymns, or you're reading from the Bible, or whatever Bible you're supposed to read from, if you're practicing the rites and the mundane, the routine things that are part of your religion, why is this happening to you? Why do you have cancer? Why do you have stage 4 cancer? Why do you have divorces? Why is your son not living with you? Why are they far away? Why is my brother gone? Why this? Why that? It seems to me that if God was good, if I'm saying this right now in this scenario, that I'm talking to my cousin alone for the last time, or for the first and last time, this wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be that sick. You wouldn't be in trouble like this. I would have a job. I would be super attractive. You would see my girlfriend. We would be talking to you, right? But then it wouldn't be a MGTOW video. I wouldn't do MGTOW videos. I would have healthy kids. I wouldn't be doing this from my phone. I play the lottery once a month just to see if I get somewhere. The jobs I try to find, I can never find. And I would tell her son that there are some things your mom deserves. She deserves to be ridiculed and heckled for her stupidity, even just being religious. But she does not deserve cancer. Nobody deserves cancer. And that's the only un-MGTOW thing I can tell you, is that if you decide to go and see somebody you don't like, maybe they're because of your family members, for humanity reasons, because they have cancer, I would not make fun of you. But I know there's not going to be a lot of love around the room anyway, whether it's from your fans or from the people in your family. And yes, I may be a pariah, but I don't care anymore. I don't want to make people happy at the cost of my soul. Now, in the title, I said, what are the grounds for dismissal? If you bully me, that means if you fuck with me, if you use your narcissism to try to be better than me, your narcissism is worth this much. Everybody's narcissism, even the president of the United States, even celebrities who virtue signal or not, people who are just boasting, your cousin Joe who boasts, that's their narcissism right here in this form. Because while they're talking about how big their cock is, or how great a black hole their pussy is, you have your own problems, or they have their own problems. And I think in truth, people who waste their time flaunting themselves at you are just as fucked up as you are. And it's for that, I would say you just have to be true to yourself. And it's true, if you do believe in a soul, if you do have a soul, you believe in God. But I don't know what God it is. It doesn't have to be. If I said God was a 1 million foot diameter dragon that spit out blue fire and spoke in mumble rap, you'd think I need to go to a doctor. But everybody has their own perspective of God. The Lizard King, maybe God is Superman. Maybe God is a giant spider that spits out stars in the sky. Who knows? People think it's silly, but I think a lot of religions are silly. So I as I say, I tend to veer on being agnostic. Maybe, maybe not. It's better to be ambiguous, because nobody has all the answers. What I laugh at is when people have quick, simple answers to complicated questions, because we're always discovering the earth. As Joe Rogan and Eric Weinstein have proven, that you have a map of the earth in 4 dimensions with 3-dimensional rings, or 2 dimensions at points, spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. Of course, Eric Weinstein has not figured out the 10 dimensions of the possibilities of Earth, and the along with the how does the Etcher staircase, you keep going down but you're going up, that optical illusion, how does that work in 10 dimensions? So nobody has the answers to that. I guess if somebody could come up with a perfect model of our life in 10 dimensions, that person is God. Okay. That's it. So, um, so the things that grounds a dismissal are if you fuck with me, if you try to be better than me, and if you try to fool me. Don't try to fool me. Don't try to play a joke on me. Because even if I believe you for a second, I'm going to figure you out. I'm going to know what you're about. Um, and I say this because I just don't have any real friends. Dreamcast 84 is one of them. And anybody who takes the time to listen to me and people offline that don't have it in for me. But we need to make friends. As a rule, MGTOW and True Force Loneliness, we don't form formal groups. But it's always nice to have a friend, especially in these dark times where we're not sure which direction this country is headed, where we're going to be 100 years from now. We always think we have it figured out until the worst of the worst, the Tekashi 6ix9ines of the world, the little Tays, some of these mumble rappers, they toss us on our ass because now it's their narcissism that's more important, not ours. We're just old people. As you can see, I'm getting old. It's not about me anymore. So this Thanksgiving, I want everyone to just remain here. Be true to yourselves. The person's voice that you should listen to is your own. Do what you want to do. And I will say this to people. In this family, I will give quick answers. Everything's same old, just doing what I want to do. And I will tell that to my cousin tomorrow. I've never spoken to her in private or personally. I don't think. I think my mom was always there. I visited her. She worked at a clinic I went to for my hemophilia, but we never spoke in private. But anyway, there's just so much hatred. So I think I'm going to be all right. I'm just going to tough it out as any male would. Women try to find sentimentalities and things, but men we're just so direct. We're just like, boop, and that's it. So have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't let shit ruin you. And Friday will be another day. Just stay home on Friday. If you have the money to spend, chances are you've already bought your presents for everyone that you care about, and you don't need to go out on Friday. I pity those stupid ass people who, gotta go, see ya, and they head right out to Target or Walmart just to sit out there. You're idiots. Anyway, have a happy Thanksgiving. Love, respect, and skip some of that turkey or you'll fall asleep. Adios.